Hello and ew. Hello and welcome back to the Tundra podcast.
You're gonna cut that, right?
Yeah, and we're gonna And today we're gonna be talking
Just
about
restart.
we're gonna talk about our song "Welcome to Hell" today, which is probably the Tundra song. If anyone knows a Tundra song, it's probably this song. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're recording this at the same time as we recorded last episode, so I'm assuming everyone's still Gucci gang. But for the sake of continuity, we have our drummer Lewis here. How's it going, Lewis?
Good.
Still good? All right, cool. We have our guitar player Patrick. What's up, Pat?
Hello. I'm good. I'm good. Doing good.
Steven might be less good than he was a few minutes ago, but how's it going,
Everything still
Steven?
hurts.
Oh no.
And I am your screamy guy, Morgan. I'm also doing just perfectly fine, except I'm a little disgusted now after Steven's a little bit of an
Just
outburst.
don't put it in.
No, put it in.
All right, so we're going to be...
I will pay you.
Okay.
How much?
Speaking of paying, if you want to support the band, you can do things to support the band.
We should
Pay
restart.
my rent.
We're so good. We're so good at this. You can pre-order our new record, Eternal, coming out April 4th through Rottweiler Records. You can either pre-order it from the Rottweiler Bandcamp or our Bandcamp. If you do it from our Bandcamp, there's also a bundle option where you can get a really cool T-shirt. That's the only way to get that T-shirt. If you
Objectively cool.
it is objectively cool. Opinions be damned. And if you want to support the band in other ways, you can also do it on patreon.com/Tundra Metal Band. That is a great way to just support us because it's expensive to be in a band. Print merch, travel to shows, and sometimes take time off work to do stuff. So it's expensive to be in a band. That's a great way to support us. And as a perk, you get to see a lot of content early, like this podcast, some of our music. I'm sure we'll do behind the scenes stuff when it's time to start recording again. So yeah, all that good stuff. So welcome to hell. First of all, if you don't know the song, you should go check it out. It's on all of your favorite streaming websites. And there's a really cool lyric video for it over on the Rottweiler YouTube channel. Made by Chris from For the Rock, who is a great social media guy who does promotion for Christian rock and metal bands. So thank you, Chris. You rule. He also made our album cover for Eternal. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Really
He's a
good.
real.
It's my
cool guy.
It's good.
favorite album
Yeah.
cover. It's just
Ever?
a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ever.
Wow.
That's
Thanks, Chris.
some high praise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come at me, bro.
What do we want to start with? Do you guys want to talk about the music? Do you want to talk about the lyrics? What do we want to talk about first? I don't remember what we did last episode.
I think we did instrumentals
All of
first.
it.
So I think instrumentally, you guys let me know what you think. But I feel like instrumentally, this is kind of, at least sort of, the perfect Tundra song because it was the first song I wrote after the first record. So the first record, Wastelands, which I'm sure you could still find it somewhere, but it's kind of like it was very experimental. I wasn't really sure what I wanted the band to sound like, so it was kind of all over the place. Welcome to Hell was the first song I wrote after that. And I kind of had collected my thoughts and been like, all right, I feel like this is where I want it to go. And it's got all that stuff. It's got a couple technical, more metal style riffs. It's got a breakdown. It's got a guitar solo. There's a little bit of clean singing. There's some creepy synth stuff. It's just got a little bit of all the things I like and that I felt like Tundra can and should be. Do you feel like that's fair? Do you, like, if you were to show someone a Tundra song, if someone's like, what does your band sound like? What song are you going to choose? And why is it Welcome to Hell?
I don't know. I'd actually, well, Welcome to Hell would definitely be up there, but I'd say either that song or Undead, honestly. What was the question?
The question was, like, do you feel like instrumentally it's the perfect encapsulation of what the band sounds like? As far as like having a little bit, because we have a couple other songs that do that. Like The Pit, I would say, is kind of their
Yeah.
Revelation, which the public I don't think has heard yet, unless it is out by the time you're seeing it. In which case, go watch the music video for Revelation. We'll talk about that next episode. But like we have a couple other songs that I think are kind of that. But I feel like especially just because Welcome to Hell was like the first one that was like that.
I'd say The Witch is a good contender.
Ooh, that's a good like throwdown song too.
Yeah.
I think it's got a good balance with the transitional elements of the song, like how it can go from just that creepy kind of sound to a just really hard hitting, and it's not totally in your face in a way in the whole song. It has that good balance of,
It is less heavy than a lot of the other songs.
it has that good vibe of us, of how we sound, just the core elements of us.
I definitely think it's a good song to kind of start the album off. I mean, we
Yeah.
start with Alone, but then goes into Alone's almost more of an intro track, honestly, and going into Welcome to Hell. And I do think that is a good starting point for the album.
It does have a lot of transitions too, compared to other songs.
Yeah, a lot of
There's just
footwork
a lot.
for me.
It's a whole
Not for
journey.
me, I just slap bass.
Speaking of which, this was the first song that Steven learned on bass, if I remember right.
I think that's true,
and
yeah.
I think that was because, like, when you were coming into the band, I was like, I want to give you, like, the middle road song. Like, if you can play this, you can probably play any of our songs. Is there anything for you guys? I know you'll have plenty to say. Is there anything for you guys as guitar players have to say about the song as far as like what you guys are doing on guitar and bass?
I really like the guitar solo. It's just fun to play. I don't know how to describe it from there, but it's like a classic guitar solo.
It's kind of simple.
Yeah,
it's following the scale pretty much. It's pretty simple, but it's kind of cool.
I just slap bass.
All right, so Lewis, I know you're going to have probably plenty to say for this song. So this is your favorite song to play drums on, right?
Well, it's the most challenging, and I like a good challenge. That's good. But Drew, I'll say it again.
It's literally going to be every episode. You're like, our old drummer Drew, man, he made my life really hard, you know?
No hard feelings. But, I mean, I dumbed it down, obviously, but there's like these little things he did that I kept, like in the breakdowns, how he'll do the rhythm with the ride cymbal.
On the ride, yeah.
Tried to keep that. And then, like, in Undead, I kept that original feel. I don't know.
Was that the hardest one to come in on? So you were originally, if you haven't seen episode 1 of the podcast where we talked about us as the band members, but Lewis was our guitar player originally and then moved to drums after Drew left the band. Was that the song that was hardest for you to transition?
Yes. Not only because it's just, like, hard in general, but, like, figuring out how to, like, make the parts work for me, but still, like, work for the song. That was challenging.
Yeah. So this is, there are 3 versions of the song, which I think is crazy. Like, there was the original, like, demo version, which was very dumbed down. And then there was the version that Drew did where he goes berserk, and that's the version that's in our music video. And now there's this 3rd version, which is on the lyric video and the record. So lyrically, this is a song about someone who's coping with falling away from their faith. So this is something that when I was writing it, I don't know if it had started yet, but if you guys remember, there was that big boom of like more like progressive style churches having like people like deconstruct. It was called the deconstruction movement. And it was this huge thing where all these people who were like, I'm either completely restructuring my relationship with Christ or they would just completely stop being Christians. And it was just like really disheartening to see a lot of that because a lot of it was coming from people who I admired and people who I looked up to. So that was just really disheartening. But even like people in my own life, I feel like I've seen that where the longer they stay away from the faith that they knew, the more that they can't really cope with it because they have all these questions about the universe and life after death and all those kind of crazy things that everyone thinks about at some point. And they kind of know what the answer is, but they don't feel comfortable with it for one reason or another, whether it's church hurt or bad relationships, or they haven't spent time delving into their theology and really understanding it well enough. And they're just kind of stuck. So that's actually kind of what the song is about, especially Alone. Steven kind of talked about it. It's like the intro song to the album. It's kind of like the bridge of Welcome to Hell fleshed out as a whole song. And then that bleeds into Welcome to Hell. But it's supposed to kind of feel like one piece. Like they were on the same mixing project when I recorded it. It's like a 6-minute long recording project. So it's supposed to go together. But yeah, do you guys have any experience with that, either yourselves or people you know, or is that like an internet phenomenon?
I mean, I think most Christians would probably say that they know a lot of people who've struggled with that over the years. A lot of them probably personally, yeah. I mean, hearing about it, seeing it in a lot of big churches and stuff like that. Like
Got a fart.
Thanks for raising our spirits. So I think that was kind of it for the song, other than maybe the music video. But I can't even really say that much about the music video because you guys weren't in the band yet. You were in the band, but you weren't there at the music video shoot.
Oh yeah, because I was being a typical. Well, I wasn't the drummer yet, but I was being a typical drummer.
Yeah. I will say that it was fun to make the music video because that was like the most hands-on. I'm a full-time video editor. That's my job. My 9 to 5 is I make videos. But that was the first video in a long time that I had worked on where I was like in the trenches. Like we filmed a lot of that music video, which you can go watch on our YouTube channel. And it's our most viewed video, I think, which is why I said at the beginning that, like, if you know a Tundra song, it's probably Welcome to Hell. And the fact that there's been 3 versions of it. But we're out in the woods. And I was like, there's I think it's Neo, our old bass player, has a clip of me, like, out on this tree that is, like, about to fall off. And I'm like, I'm up on this tree that's about to break because I'm trying to get the perfect camera angle. And like, it was just the most hands-on video shoot I had done in a really long time. So I had a blast filming.
Did you fall down?
No, I don't think so.
Well, that was a boring story then.
Well, it was just fun. It was just
This
fun
was a story where I almost fell down.
I think you're missing your point, actually. So I guess the last thing that we should talk about is this song live. So maybe this is controversial, but even though I think this is almost the perfect Tundra song, whenever we're putting our set list together and we're like, all right, we need to trim a couple minutes, this is the song I feel like we should cut.
Really?
Yeah. So and I think it's because when we get to the slow section of the song, it takes a minute to build back up. And I think if people aren't ready for it, it throws them off. And I think it depends on where it is in the set list. Like we sometimes open with it, or it's towards the beginning of the set at least. And then I don't think it matters as much. But there was like 1 or 2 shows where it was like either the last song or the second to last song we played. And there I was like, oh, this is bad. This like kills the vibe. Like, so what do you guys feel like the live energy is on this song?
No, I definitely agree that it needs to be pretty early on the set. I feel like I kind of feel the same way too. Like it just feels like it kind of losing your momentum a little bit if it's towards the end of the set. But I think it's totally fine towards the beginning. I don't think I'd really want to cut this song. I'd say there are plenty of, like, there's a couple other songs I'd much rather cut than Welcome to Hell. Insane. Lewis. Gee.
I tried to hold it in, man.
Why'd you stand up?
Pat or Lewis, did you have anything to contribute to that thought?
I honestly love this one as an opener. Like that synth part at the very dude, and then just explodes. And I think in a way that the bridge kind of section before guitar solo, it's a breather in a way, but I love how it just built. I love dynamics. I'm a big dynamic kind of guy when it comes to music. I love dynamics.
Well, and I think that's part of what makes it just a good song is that it's dynamic. It gives a little bit of room to breathe because if everything's turned up to 11,
you can't go any higher.
Like Undead. That song is just it's at 11 the entire time, and then it just ends.
Well, imagine if every song we had was at the level of like Undead.
No,
I was going to say also Insane, but at least Insane also kind of has a little bit of a breather room. So, like, imagine if every song we had was like that. If everything is that heavy, then nothing's heavy because there's nothing to contrast it with. Where even, like, we have a couple songs that are slower, but even, like, Welcome to Hell, it's a heavy song, but it has a slower section. So even within the confines of that one song, there's more dynamics to it.
Yeah. I like dynamics.
And I have found that if I try to get people to clap during the slow section, that it helps keep the momentum going a little bit. Like Steven's not playing bass hardly at all during that section, so I'm like, Steven, you should clap with me. But
and then if I can play it on time, and I'll always throw Lewis off. It's the easiest part in the song, and somehow I just mess it up.
It's always the easy parts that are the hardest, actually.
Yep, that's true.
I try to keep playing on the ride or the hi-hat or something.
Yeah, behind the scenes for tech stuff is the way we have it set up is we don't actually have in-ear monitors for the band.
I'm the only one.
Yeah, it's just Lewis has a click. And so we just like, all right, we're going to assume Lewis is right. And
It's a little bit of pressure, but you know.
But I like that because I mean the
It is
drums is like the foundation
Mhm.
of timing and rhythm. Like so, I mean,
well, the problem is like if he was off from the backing track.
Mhm.
right? But like, I trust him enough.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks.
When I listen to like the whole set from Chains and Chains, like I'm impressed by just altogether our timing. Like we don't even use any air, like just you, but just our rhythmic feel of each other is
Yeah.
incredible.
Well,
So,
I mean, and I'll
I
say
also
this.
really like feeling Lewis.
mhm,
From
yeah.
Oh, Jerome. What was I gonna say?
Speechless.
I was gonna say, whenever like if anyone gets off the backing track, which does happen at times, like
Mhm.
I feel like
Yeah.
I can always, although I don't have the in-ear monitors,
tell.
and I could still like keep up with it and like tell like if we're off, who's off. So I think if we didn't have that and we were only relying on Lewis to keep us in rhythm, I think we'd mess
We
up
could-
a lot more than we do.
Well, I think that's it for this episode. So I will say that if you would like to help us have in-ears to have it so that we can all hear the click and stay on time and not just have to depend on Lewis, although Lewis is next to perfect. He's a little angel. You can support the band by either coming to our shows. We follow us on our social medias if you want to know when our shows are coming up. You can pre-order our new record, Eternal, coming out April 4th on Rottweiler Records. If you do it on our Bandcamp, you can also get a cool t-shirt that you can't get anywhere else. And you can also support us at patreon.com/Tundra Metal Band. And that's a good way to support us directly, as well as see a lot of content early. You'll get to hear some of our music early. You get to see videos like this early. We'll post behind the scenes stuff there when we're recording new music. And yeah, that's probably it. Share our music with your homies. Like you listen to our record on Spotify, send it to all your homies with Spotify. You listen to Apple Music, send it all to your I forgot how to talk. Send it to all your homies with Apple Music. Yeah.
March 15th, skate bar.
Yeah. If you're
Kansas City.
Kansas
Be
City
there.
Skate Bar, March 15th is our first show of the year. You guys excited for that? First
Oh,
show of the
yeah.
year.
Yes, I love the skate bar.
Super excited.
Is that your favorite venue we've played?
When it was in
Well,
St.
it's
Joe.
not
but
the
we
same
haven't played
location since they've moved, right?
The new location looks sick, though.
It does look cool.
It looks
I've
really
seen some
cool.
pictures. And yeah, we got some other cool shows coming up this year, too. We have an album release show April 5th, so the day after the record comes out in Topeka, Kansas. Come to that. We got our friends in Barrage opening for us. It's going to be so fun. We're going to be playing, I think, the whole record. So it'll be
Mhm.
really, really fun. And then this summer, we'll be heading back to Chains Unchained again, which they got a cool lineup. I don't know if you guys know Cultist. They're playing. I love Cultist. That band rules so hard. So
Nice.
I'm super, super excited. So yeah, and I'm sure we'll have other shows come up this year. So follow us on our social medias and come out if you can. It'll be fun. We will see you guys next episode to talk about our song Revelation. It might be out by the time you're watching this video. So if that's the case, check it out on streaming. And it's the last single we'll have for the record. And there's a music video for it. Go watch it. I cried a lot making it. So please give it some
Dang.
views. Please validate my tears. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.